I was one of the Native American children, adopted at birth and removed from our country's Indian reservation system. I was raised in a small middle-class farming community, but was never told of my true American Indian heritage. It was still taboo back in those early days. The years passed, and in 1987 I lost both parents. While going through their personal belongings, my wife discovered my adoption papers and she began a search. 5 years later, I was reunited with my biological Lakota family living on the Lower Brulé Sioux Indian Reservation of South Dakota. I am a son of two mothers and a product of two worlds that had collided. But I have an equal amount of love and pride for both. I'm Paul LaRush, and the stories you are about to see are an attempt to share this true American story of a hidden heritage. In 2006, we undertook our most ambitious holiday tour to date. In the cast and crew that year were band members, traditional drummer Moses Brings Plenty, my daughter Nicole Summers on flute, my son Shane Summers on guitars, myself on keyboards. The dance troupe included that year Lowry Begay, Peter Redbird, Gentry St. Cyr, Louis St. Cyr, Thurza Defoe, Linda Thompson, Teresa St. Cyr, and Christy Belt. The tech crew that year was DMM Systems, Rob Euling, front of house engineer, Paul Wyatt, the lighting director, and assistant Eric Ulmer. Following is some behind-the-scenes commentary from that tour.
Well, over the years, the Brulé show has expanded from really just a small duo doing small little festivals to these last 4 or 5 years that we've moved in and we've presented large, full-scale multimedia stage productions. But still, there's a lot of people that know us for our outdoor art festivals and don't realize that we present a whole concert series. And a lot of people have asked me about the larger shows. Well, we travel really over the course of a year. We'll travel primarily up and down the Midwest from Minneapolis all the way down to Phoenix. And along that corridor, we present a lot of concerts. Our holiday concert series is probably the largest tour that we present. And these last couple of years, we've generally presented anywhere from 10 to 15 shows. And it's a relatively large production. And it's taken a long time for us to piece it together. And we're all quite proud of the presentation. It incorporates anywhere from 15 to 25 performers, musicians, and traditional Native American dancers. And we incorporate a full concert sound and lighting system. Well, we've had to subcontract the sound and lights the last couple of years. It's just gotten too big. And we generally try to accommodate theaters that are from anywhere from 1,500 seat to 2,500 seat theaters. We've had a great time doing it. As a matter of fact, it's really been a very enjoyable process. Our growth has been slow and steady over the years, but we've enjoyed that part of it. We've had to work hard to make small little increases until we've got to the point to where the show is at today. And as you can see on some of our video footage, the show has gotten to be pretty extensive with the use of video productions and choreographed dances that have been built around specific songs. And the technicians that are off stage are quite extensive as well. We have a video technician, sound engineer, lighting director, anywhere from 4 to 5 stagehands, a stage manager, and just a couple of technicians for equipment, guitars and keyboards that we have along on our tours as well. So, it really has been a thrill. We've enjoyed every aspect of building our production. I think the amazing thing is for all of us that when we take off and set out on tour, that we're working with a crew and people that have been together for probably anywhere from 5 to 7 years. So we all get along very well. And it's kind of like family getting together, all the way from the sound and lighting company down to the traditional dancers. A lot of our dancers have worked with us now over the course of 10 to 11, 12 years. And, I take great pride in the fact that we have what I consider to be a large, extensive family. And it's really a joy to go out on tour. I mean, it's really about as much fun as you can have in the world of music. And we've just thoroughly, completely enjoyed the whole process of building it from ground up and taking it out. I think this last year was probably the largest tour that we've ever presented, 12 cities. And it's something that we're going to continue to try and grow as time and as years go by.
Little children chasing the cup.
Well, whenever somebody asks me about how long we've been together, I guess the answer is the same. It's been a long time. We started this process really in 1993. We began the travel in 96. And the story is we started out as just a single act, one person. And before we got very far, before we really made it to the first show, it was a duo, Nicole and myself. And it has always been based and centered around a family, group of musicians. It's kind of unusual in today's world. You don't see it very often. It's not completely unusual, but the weird thing is, we never planned it that way. It really just worked out. Nicole offered to join years ago, and Kathy has always managed most of the operation for us. And later on, Shane came on board and filled in the slack as our guitarist, and he's done a great job. And our grandchildren even today are part of the dance ensemble. And so really, I guess that we consider our group a family. Moses and Christy and Laura and all the members that have come along and have helped out. We have family members that join us from our hometown of Worthington. And I think it really is part of the reason for our longevity.
And this is the master of the 6-string right here. This is Shane Nair.
Hello.
And this is Hoopza.
Yeah, well, people see the final and the end product when they come to the concerts, and we hope they enjoy the performance. Most people, the average person, you can't expect them to know all that goes on behind the scenes. A typical setup day for us starts at usually about 7 o'clock in the morning. The semi arrives. The tech crew are the first ones at the theater. They arrive and meet up with the stagehands, anywhere from 8 to 10 stagehands. And our tech crew probably going to have 4 or 5 people from the Brulé team. And they, all right, you have to begin by unloading the semi. And all the gear comes into the theater. And that's kind of a long process, and you need some muscle power to do that. So the young guys take care of that part of it. And all the gear comes in. Then you start to assemble the whole show. I mean, it's a complicated, really, really complicated process. The sound and the PA system, the speakers go up. Everything's flowing from points up in the ceiling. The lighting system is put together and built. It's just rebuilt, and it's taken down literally every show. And then the stage and the set are put together. We have teepees that go up. Then our own personal gear comes in. Each guy has their own, and girl has their own set of gear. The drummer, keyboardist, flute, guitar rig, all has to be built once the set's up and once the sound and lights are up. That lasts anywhere from 10 in the morning till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we run a sound check from 2 o'clock anywhere up to 3 or 4 o'clock and get the bugs out of the system. The dancers and the performers that dance out in front will come in for a run-through from 4 to 5 typically. And during the day, of course, there's breaks that happen, lunch and coffee breaks, supper time.
Tatanka burger.
We have Tatanka burgers, and we have Tatanka Junior burgers.
Cheese.
Commodity cheese, reservation onions. All right. And these are pickled squash, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the pre-show jitters set in. Everything has to be ready to go by 6 o'clock.
What is this?
This is, Lord, I thought that we lost them, but these are the set lists as scratched up and marked with my Sharpie as possible.
Are you excited for tonight's performance?
Not quite there yet, but I know I'll get there.
What do you
It's been
do
a
to
heck of a
prepare?
What do I do? I need to go sit down and pray right now, actually, just to be still, because it's been a crazy week.
The doors usually open by 6:30, so we hope that everything's working. Video gear, audio, sound and lights, all of our personal gear. Dancers are ready to go. Everybody, we hope, has made it there in one piece.
And what's your name?
My name is Rob.
All right. And what do you do?
I'm responsible for how everything sounds.
Cool.
So if it doesn't sound good, come to me.
You know, when you stop and think about it, the idea that this whole thing gets put together and built in the course of one day, and the show takes place, and it's torn down and packed back into the vehicle, it's kind of magnificent, really, and it gives you kind of a sense of pride to see it all take place when you know that you've been part of it, and it's really a gratifying feeling when the day is finished and the show is done and the place empties out and you're the last one on stage at the end of the day. It's a feeling it's kind of hard to describe. I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Well, you know, it is a lot of work, and you really have to enjoy this. I think that anybody that wants to survive in the world of music is in for just a long, hard road. But, you know, you love what you do. The love of the art carries you through a lot of difficult times. I can't say that we don't have a lot of fun when we're on tour. We have a lot of times when we have to really be serious and concentrate. And there's a business side, of course, to what we do. But, you know, once the show's been planned and the vehicles are packed, the trailers are loaded, the semi's packed, and the trucks are gassed up, you know, we really have a good time.
I'm gonna drown.
Hey, Lowry.
Oh.
You might cover anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 miles, and you know you're riding together. Yeah, you're sharing stories. You know, it's not a boring time at all. Really, it's really kind of a blast.
How has this tour been for you?
Oh, it's been awesome. It has been a while.
game. Look.
And somewhere behind this interview is a face. Okay.
Hey, Paul. You're not behind the keyboard, but this is what it looks like. Yep. Is that Alice Cooper?
I've always enjoyed the time on the road, and you know, it's if I'm by myself, great. I can think and reflect a little bit, and if we've got a truck full of people, you know, it's all that much more fun. You know, we can tell stories, and we can make plans, and you know, there's never really a dull moment. Last time when we took off on tour, we had 2 trucks, 2 pickups, a semi, and a van that was usually full, anywhere from 8 to 10 people. And from the looks of it, everybody had a great time. You know, that's the beauty of it. You go out and you can leave the business behind for a little bit, and you can enjoy the performance and the time in between the shows. We've had a blast.
Did you guys have fun?
We got T-shirts, books, pictures, Sharpies. Everyone's really pumped and excited.
Finally getting a break.
Family, friends, everyone. So,
All right.
We have been very lucky in the world of arts and entertainment. I think the fact that we've made it now for 12 years is something that basically defies the odds. You know, the whole time we've remained an underground act. And for the most part, to the eyes of the mainstream music industry, we don't exist. And it's been kind of a two-edged sword. We enjoy that part of it. And at the same time, I think that it'd be nice to have the national recognition, but there's certainly nothing wrong with slow, steady growth. And it has allowed us to continue on and to move into cities where people have really never heard of our music or the group Brulé before, even though we've been at this for 11 years. It's entirely new, so the music is still new as we come into these new markets. I guess to sum it up, we've been very, very lucky.
Second, to thank everybody for what I thought was a great tour. And I think probably I'm safe in saying it was the best and most successful tour that we've ever been part of. And I think that's due, in fact, to a great tech crew, great performances at every show with the dancers. And I'm proud of all the musicians on stage. You put it all together. It was just a great tour. After 10 years of doing this, for me, it was kind of the pinnacle of really 10 years of hard work. And I think I'd even throw in my 20 years before this all started. Probably the best time that I've ever had. As far as my favorite show, probably like Sioux City. Thanks to Mashi and the gang in the front row there. But they were all good shows. Sioux City was a fun show. I just had a blast. But I do want to just, from Kathy and I, there's a lot of preparation that goes into a tour like this. And so it really starts almost 6 months ahead of time. And so we want to thank all of you for your contributions. Every person did an especially great job. Christy, thank you very much we had to throw a lot at you this year, and you really pulled it off. Mo, for your this kind of end of your first year. I remember you talking at the beginning of the tour. You outdid yourself and really appreciate it. Just everybody, all you dancers, I think that you guys, as I looked at the video, I've had the advantage of looking at a lot of the shows, and you guys really haven't had a chance to. It just really took on the look of professional polish this year that we've never had before. And so I was especially proud of what we were able to present to the audiences. And I'm excited for what the future holds. What that exactly all is, I don't know. But one thing we're shooting very optimistically for is that performance at Mount Rushmore coming up next summer. And so we'll let all of you know kind of how things are developing as that gets closer. Just a heartfelt thank you from our family for everything that you guys have done, all the sacrifices and all the hard work and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we probably don't always see. So thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today on Hidden Heritage. I'm your host, Paul LaRush, reminding you that if you enjoyed the podcast, share us with your friends and help us spread the word. Till next time, from all of us in Brulé, thank you.